Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel! Nandito kami guys sa Ferry. Guys, i-tour ko kayo guys. Mag-tour kami ngayon dito sa Ferry sa London. Malapit sa London Eye. Makita ko sa inyo ang view. Ang napakagandang view. Ito guys, ang mga tao. Nasa taas kami. Ayan. Oh. May nagpaganda pa guys. Oh. Listi sa lang. Alex. Sino? Lex. Picture. Okay, Jeka. Guys, oh, ito yung mga tao sa taas, guys.
See, ang ganda mag-picture. Send mo yan sa akin, please.
Tingnan mo. Yeah, ang dami namin. Makita ko sa inyo ang London Eye.
Ay, Skyflex ka pa dyan.
Parang mayroon pang.
Nagutom si Manay.
Kung nga, kumain nga ako ng sandwich.
Sandwich? Pero lang doon yung Skyflex. Ay, it's okay. Mag-order mo.
London Eye. Dito guys, mag-tutor kami ng 30 minutes sa
Ikaw na
ferry.
lang kayo. Ay, ganon.
Hindi nakasama ko guys. Oh.
Ayaw, Pino.
Relax na, relax.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Surigao!
Yan ka, Surigao. Nasa Dimaras pa tayo.
go and use it. Get yourself a drink and relax. Now, after all that, can I have a show of hands, how many of you understood a word I just said? The reason I ask is because on our way to Westminster, we will pass by a few points of places of interest. So there's two options, okay? Option A, I can leave you in peace. I'll play an automated commentary system provided by the company. It's not very good. Option B, I don't mind. I'll stay on this microphone. I'll do a commentary for you. Would you like a live commentary? I've got to stress, I'm not a professional, I'm not a tour guide. I'm just a member of the crew. I'm fluent in 3 languages, okay? English, American,
Filipino!
and Australian.
Filipino!
Anything else?
Filipino!
Who?
Filipino!
Filipino?
Yes.
No, it's far too hard for me. Far too hard. Far too hard. Come back next year and I'll see if I can crack it. Alright? So we'll start here. What we'll do, look, we'll blow the ships on. Give everyone on this bridge a nice big wave. Alright, come on, let's have a wave. Let's wake some people up. Come on, darling. Put your hand up. Come on. Hello, alright. Good evening. Keep waving at them. Keep waving. This is how we get these people not to throw anything at the boat. If we are waving, they will not throw. Okay, it does work. It does work. It does work. No, there's a bridge here. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. If anyone doesn't wave back to you, it normally just means that they're a Londoner, and that means they're miserable. Over on the left-hand side, coming up on the river wall, you'll see a large stick of rock. Now, that stick of rock, that's known as Cleopatra's Needle, and it is older than the city of London itself. It dates back over 3,000 years. It once stood in a place called Heliopolis in Egypt, and it was given to us by a grateful Egyptian viceroy for English's victory over the French in the Battle of the Nile. If you look closely at that stick of rock, look closely, you might be able to make out some hieroglyphics on it. Well, luckily for you lot, I did do very well in school. I can translate hieroglyphics. That says made in Egypt. Now the next bridge, this is the Waterloo Road Bridge. This is known as the Ladies' Bridge of the River Thames. Over 95% of the workforce, they were female when this bridge was under construction. So it has been faced in a very expensive self-cleaning Portland stone. Every time it rains, this bridge, it does clean itself. So this exterior, look, that's kind of clean. Look at the underside as you go through, look, filthy in comparison. Now once through the bridge, over to the right hand side behind the trees, there's a grey building with an electronic billboard changing sign. That's the National Theatre. This is London's pride and joy. Now unfortunately, the National Theatre, it does get voted one of London's ugliest buildings every year by leading architects. Even Prince Charles himself, he once said on a live television broadcast that that building looks like a monstrous carbuncle. And let's face it, that man does know a thing or two about ugly, doesn't he? Ugly buildings. I'm not that horrible. I'm not that horrible, alright? Ugly buildings, ugly buildings. Now coming up on the left, there's a large white boat with a yellow funnel. So this is called the Wellington. It's formerly part of the New Zealand Navy. It is now the only floating livery hall in the world for the Honourable Company of Master Mariners. And all that means is that it's basically a floating drinking club for retired sea captains. Now at the stern of the Wellington, at the back of the boat beneath the trees, there's a grey column. That's also an archway. This is Temple Gate and Arch. It is a boundary marker for two cities. So we're now leaving the city of Westminster. We are now entering the 1 square mile capital city of London itself. The other boundary point for that's Tower Bridge. On the right hand side, you've got London's premier beach Riviera. This is the South Bank Beach. That's the perfect place to go and top up your tan on a nice sunny day. Look at that, look at it. Look at that golden sandy coloured beach right here in central London on the Custerdale Thames. But absolutely booming this evening, ladies and gents. I think I can see some kids playing with some broken glass over there. Absolutely loving life this evening. Look at them, so much fun. Also on the right, the orange building in brickwork. This is the Oxo Tower. So this is where they once made the famous little stock queue, better known as Mum's Gravy. So it's not made there anymore. The first 2 floors, they're shops. There's some luxury, unaffordable housing in the middle, and at the top there's a very expensive restaurant by the name of Harvey Nichols. Now over to the left hand side, just behind the white crane, there's a little orange building that looks like a church. So that's Zion College and Library. It is home to the Anglican clergy. In that building you will find the first edition English printed Bible on William Caxton's steam press.
We should go.
Now the next bridge, this is the Blackfriars Road Bridge. If you have a look at the buttresses of the bridge, the 3 to the left and the 1 to the right, there's these things that resemble church pulpits. So they was actually placed here under the express wish of Queen Victoria to commemorate a Dominican monastery which stood to the left hand side back in the days. The monks, they wore habits of black, hence the name Blackfriars. But there's 3 bridges here. Nowhere on this river will you find 3 bridges this close together. They quite often get referred to as the Tunnel of Love. And it is said, if you turn to a loved one, give them a quick kiss as you go through these bridges, and it will grant you many years of happiness. But if you're not with a loved one today, I suppose you've always got your husband or your wife. If there's any single women, you're more than welcome to come and give me a quick kiss. I don't mind. No? Any single men? The captain is an open-minded young man. He gets a bit lonely in there. Don't you, mate? Yeah. Now, over on the right-hand side, coming up, there's a brown building with a chimney. So this is the old Bankside power station. Now the old Bankside power station, it now houses the Tate Modern Art Gallery. The Tate Modern Art Gallery is free to enter. But if you've ever seen modern art, you'll know why that's free. Is anyone up here a fan of modern art? Anyone? Yeah, you? You young lady, are you a fan of modern art? Yeah? Alright then. I do not that building, but up until COVID, it was one of the top 5 most visited museums in the world. So they must be doing something right, or it's literally just because it's free. But in all honesty, the last time that I had a walk around there, I see some things like some beer cans, and there was an unmade bed. Okay, but I have that at home indoors. Right, I haven't got that modern art, ladies and gents. Now over to the right-hand side. Over on the right-hand side, there's a circular white building with timber frames and a thatched roof. That's the replica of Shakespeare's Globe and Playhouse Theatre. It's the only building in London to have a thatched roof since the Great Fire. You can see all Shakespearean plays acted out in period dress throughout the summer months of the year. It is an open air theatre. If it does rain, you will get wet. The doors are still open. There's still some plays going on in there this evening. Now it's only about £5 to go and see a play in there. Brilliant value for money for live entertainment if you've got the time. Highly recommend it. Now the next bridge, have a look up there. This is the Southwark Road Bridge. It's one of the most unused bridges here in London. They do say the approach roads to this bridge, they're so well hidden in the back streets of London that not many Londoners know this bridge exists. So if you do see anyone up there, do give them a nice big wave, because they're more than likely lost. Hello mate, you alright? Would you like any directions? No, you don't want to admit he's lost, ladies and gents, but he's definitely lost. Now over to the right hand side, just before the next bridge, there's a pub. I do like a pub, but this pub especially is the Anchor Tavern of Bankside. It's one of the oldest pubs on the banks of the River Thames, and it is said that William Shakespeare himself, he had a changing room in that Anchor Tavern when he was performing at the nearby Rose and Globe theatres. This is also where you'll find me in about 3 hours, alright, when I finish work. That's one of the pubs that I love to go to conduct the vital and critical research that I have to do for these commentaries. Some nights I can be researching in that pub for about 3 hours. Honestly, I love to do a bit of research in that pub. Now just a quick one, has anyone on the boat, have you ever seen the films The Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley? You've seen the films? Get your cameras ready, because on the right, look, we'll go nice and close, there's a pirate ship in the dockway. You might want to take a picture of that pirate ship, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with those films. I just really like them, sorry. It's actually a replica of Sir Francis Drake's The Golden Hind, okay? The original circumnavigated the world once, that replica has been around the world twice. Also on the right hand side, behind the trees, Southwark Cathedral. A famous gent was baptised in there by the name of John Harvard, who later went on to become one of the founding fathers of the Harvard University. Now this bridge, this is the world famous London Bridge. This is it, London Bridge. Have a look on the left. Look, they wrote the name on it. This is London Bridge, this one. There's been a London Bridge on this site since the Roman era. It's actually the 5th London Bridge to span the river at that point. Now on the left hand side, so Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London, the wax candle, standing 202 feet tall. If you was to lay that down 202 feet in the direction we're travelling, it would reach a little baker's shop in Pudding Lane, where the Great Fire of London is said to have started. Also on the left, this blue building with all the windows, that's the headquarters of London's Window Cleaning Association. It's not really. Just saying who's listening. It's actually home to Channel 5 and a health lottery, but anyway. Staying to the left hand side, ladies and gents, I'll tell you what we'll do. Do a bit of the old skyscrapers up there. So parallel with the boat, you've got this skyscraper that looks like a beer pump. Looks like a Guinness beer pump to me, but that's the walkie-talkie. Now the one with the diamond frontage next to that, or the lattice style, that's the cheese grater. Then you've got the pointy one, that's the scalpel. For some reason they love to give these skyscrapers big names here in London. You've also got the gherkin, which is going to poke through in just a moment. Between the pointy one and the red crane, that one's the gherkin that looks a bit like a sphere. Now your next point of interest, it's on the right hand side, but you may or may not see it because it's painted in camouflage. But that's a large warship, the HMS Belfast, the heaviest of the lightweight cruisers. In the Second World War, it helped in the eventual chasing and sinking of a battleship called Charles, and it last fired its guns in anger in the Korean campaign. It's permanently moored there as a museum to British naval sea power. Open 7 days a week, fits over 7 decks to explore, thoroughly worth a visit if you've got the time. The HMS Belfast. Now over to the left-hand side, coming up on the left-hand side, you've got the Tower of London, the bloody tower. Now unfortunately, from the river, you can't really see the bloody tower because it's behind the bloody trees. The construction started there in 1078 by William the Conqueror. That's on the centre keep. So that's the part in the middle with the 4 turrets. All the structures around that was added by various reigning monarchs throughout the years. Now in its time, the tower, it has been a palace, a fortress, a prison, a mint, a menagerie. It's now more famous for housing the crown jewels. So our next stop will be Tower Pier, ladies and gents. But we are quite nice on this boat, believe it or not. So what we do, for those of you disembarking at the tower, we take you nice and close here to Tower Bridge, okay? So as we turn the boat, we'll turn the boat to the left. Tower Bridge will be on your right-hand side in just a moment for everyone to grab a lovely photo from Tower Bridge, okay? Now if you get up to take a picture, do be warned, when we start to turn this boat to the left, this boat will start to rock, okay? So I'm warning you now, the boat will start to rock when we turn the boat to the left. Okay. So if you get up to take a picture, if you've not got your sea legs on, use your common sense, ladies and gents, okay? Now Tower Bridge, right, Tower Bridge is the gateway to the city of London. So it was completed in 1894. On its opening ceremony, Tower Bridge, it actually failed to operate and a sailing vessel hit that bridge. Now since that day, it has been registered with Lloyd's of London. Registered with Lloyd's, that comes with the complement of a captain, an engineer and first officer. Now the 2 centre bascles, they weigh over 1,000 tonnes each, and it is actually an iron-built bridge, but it's been clad in stonework to blend in with the Tower of London in front of the boat. But there you go, we'll hold the boat like this very shortly, ladies and gents, just to allow you to grab a couple of photos, alright? We'll have to start manoeuvring for Tower Pier in just a moment. Now for us boats, it does not cost us a penny for us to get them to lift Tower Bridge for us. All we need is to have a boat with a high enough air draft, which we will not fit through that centre arch. They'll lift the bridge. We only have to give them 24 hours notice and they'll lift it free of charge for us. Now there was a bridge lift earlier at 16:45. There's another bridge lift. Tower Bridge will open at 7:45, 7:45. So in 30 minutes time. So if you wanted to see a bridge lift, ladies and gents, when you get off the boat, right, if you wait on either side of the river, right, so either by the tower or over the other side of the river, over there, you'll get a fantastic view of Tower Bridge opening. So it's going to open in about half an hour's time, okay? So, some travel information. So, does anyone have a return ticket for Westminster? A couple of you. Just literally 2 people, 3 people, 4, alright, a few of you. Right, if you're going back to Westminster, we will be the final departure this evening. We leave at 7:35. Okay, not a second later, 7:35. We are the final departure. If you have a bus ticket, you have just used your bus ticket, you will need to leave. Bus tickets are only one way. To get your return bus, go to the other side of the Tower of London, up to the main road. That's where you get the bus from. Now, leaving us here, ladies and gents, I recommend you stay where you are for the time being until we put this boat into Tower Pier. Now, do use this opportunity. Double check, make sure you've got all your belongings with you. Do not leave anything behind to spoil your evening. Things like cameras, bags, mobile phones, wallets, hats, sunglasses, husbands, wives and children. Children, make sure you take your kids with you though. Alright, take your kids with you, ladies and gents. Do not leave your kids behind to spoil my evening. Make sure you take your kids with you. This is not funny. The amount of people that leave their kids behind on these boats is atrocious. Alright? Make sure you take your children with you. I got left here when I was 8 years old.
Oh my God.
I am still here. Make sure you take your kids with you, okay? Now just a few little words about the commentary. So when I started, as I said, we're not professional tour guides on these boats, we are just members of the crew. As I said, we're not tour guides, we don't get paid to do commentaries. This is not my job at the end of the day, I'm here to keep you guys safe. Now city cruises, all they leave you with is a pre-recorded, automated, robotic commentary system. It's the sort of thing you hear on the buses as you go around London. So they leave it up to us, the crew, to do commentaries on a voluntary basis. I hope I've made your trip a little bit more interesting, a bit more enjoyable. If you have enjoyed your trip, my name is Jack, okay? If you have not enjoyed your trip, my name is Jimbo, alright? Now with all that being said, what I'm getting at, ladies and gents, if you would like to show any appreciation for my efforts as a guide this evening, as you exit the boat, what we'll have in the old traditional manner of sticking out the captain's silver champagne tip bucket, alright? If you would like to show any appreciation, you can do so as you're leaving the boat. If you do stick anything in the bucket, gratefully appreciated. Now for your convenience, I do accept all small change, okay? Things like 10, 20, £50 notes, euros, dollars, rings, watches, necklaces, American Express, MasterCard, and single ladies' telephone numbers. Alright, I'm going to take me to say thank you very much for your kind attention this evening. Thank you for travelling with us, and have a fantastic evening, whatever you do here in London. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, guys.